If we do not cry out against injustice, the stones themselves will cry out for us. History has a memory, and right now it is speaking. Today, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement deploys a wearable electric shock device, the CTG-5GLOVE, capable of delivering 380 volts directly into human skin. The Department of Homeland Security budgeted between $10 and $20 million for its deployment against immigrant communities. More than 2 centuries ago, French General Rochambeau imported 600 bloodhounds from Cuba, trained to hunt, terrorize, and kill black freedom fighters in Saint-Domingue. Different centuries, same architecture, same targets. This is not coincidence, this is a pattern, and patterns demand names. Anti-Haitian bigotry carries a documented intellectual genealogy. In 1853, Arthur de Gobineau published his pseudoscientific racial hierarchy, a framework that placed African-descended people at the bottom of a fabricated human order. That framework did not disappear. It traveled through 2 centuries of disease stigma, political caricature, dehumanizing stereotype, and marketed cultural narratives, arriving intact in the rhetoric of American politics in 2024 and 2026. When a presidential debate platform amplified false claims that Haitian immigrants ate pets, when cable news repeated and monetized that slander, these were not isolated moments of ignorance. They were the latest coordinates on a very old map. On tenant firmin Ansel Gobineau en 1885 de l'égalité des races humaines, a rigorous, data-grounded refutation of racial hierarchy. Firmin proved, with evidence, that no hierarchy of human races exists in nature. What exists is a hierarchy of political power, constructed, maintained, and enforced through exactly the instruments this analysis documents. To know Firmin is to hold the antidote. That antidote carries a name: literacy. Jules Pierre Louis held a green card. His legal standing rested on a foundation American immigration law itself constructed and recognized. ICE agents arrested him at a Greyhound bus station in Florida while his case remained in active litigation. No court had ordered his removal. No judge had ruled against him. They transferred him to a remote Texas facility after Hurricane Katrina disrupted Florida detention infrastructure, moving him further from his legal counsel, his family, his community. Jules described what followed in his own words. They treated me like an animal. I was in chain all the times, even when I was eating. It was mental torture. I decided and requested to return to my country where I am free. Jules chose Haiti. The enforcement system called that a voluntary departure. Jules called it accurately. He chose the country where he would be free. Jules Pierre Louis died in Haiti a few years after his deportation. His words survive him. This analysis carries them forward. General Rochambeau operated from a foundational premise. The enslaved and formerly enslaved African population of Saint-Domingue did not qualify for the protections of human dignity. He deployed dogs to hunt black people. He staged public drownings. He buried freedom fighters alive. He poisoned wells. He imposed starvation on civilian populations. General Rochambeau called this governance, despite the profound cruelty and suffering it caused. Today's enforcement apparatus calls 380 volts of electrical current a de-escalation tool. It calls continuous ankle surveillance an alternative to detention. It calls chains at mealtimes a security protocol, 2 centuries apart. The same logic, the same legitimizing language, the same targeted bodies. The Haitian Revolution answered Rochambeau. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Henri Christophe, Alexandre Pétion, and the armies of free people answered him, with discipline, strategy, and an unwillingness to accept the terms of their own dehumanization. Haiti's answer in 1804 gave the world its first Black Republic. It gave the Americas a living proof that human dignity answers to no hierarchy. Haitian civilization does not need to be invented. It needs to be recovered, studied, and taught. Haiti gave the world the first successful revolution of enslaved people in human history. It gave Simon Bolivar ships, soldiers, and financing that powered Latin American independence. It produced Toussaint Louverture, a military strategist whose brilliance earned documentation from Napoleon's own generals. It built universities, produced scholars, and sent its diaspora into every field of human excellence. To understand Haiti is to learn how calamity becomes consciousness, how suffering becomes solidarity, how resilience seeds a more humane humanity. This is not inspiration. This is documented historical record. Every person who repeats anti-Haitian slander reveals a specific gap. Not in moral character alone, but in historical knowledge. That gap carries a name: illiteracy. Haitian bigotry in the 21st century is illiteracy. It is the failure to read the record. It is the refusal to receive what history has already proven. The remedy for illiteracy is education. The education Haiti offers the world remains one of the most sophisticated, most rigorous, most humanizing curricula available to any student of civilization. The CTG5GLOVE and Rochambeau's dogs occupy the same category, instruments of pain compliance deployed against Black and colonized bodies by states that have chosen enforcement over humanity. The ACLU stated it precisely: ICE will deploy electric shocks with the push of a button, potentially unseen by others. The record demands a response equal to its weight. Name the genealogy, teach the history, carry the testimony of Jules Pierre Louis forward, study Antonin Vermeille, read the Haitian Revolution as the civilizational achievement it represents. Haitian bigotry is 21st century illiteracy, and illiteracy has a cure. Read, learn, speak. When the stones of history cry out, it is because human voices have failed. This analysis refuses that silence. The record demands it. The future requires it. Knowledge and innovation in the service of humanity. Scientia, Innovatio, Humanitas. Knowledge and innovation dedicated to humanity.